What's up, folks? This is Norm from the Board Game Museum, and today I'm going to be reviewing three little games, and that is Slingshot, Chimichangas and Tacos, and Irukhanji. Now, all three of these games are very simple to learn, and they don't take very long to play. They're like small little games. They're about this size in the box. In Slingshot, you're going to have a line of planets, and the object of the game is to try to get to the last planet first, and this has a Yahtzee type of mechanic to it. In Chimichangas and Tacos, you're going to be building a lot of these different Mexican dishes using these triangular shaped tiles that have all these different ingredients on there. You're going to try to score the most amount of points. And in Irukhanji, this is a tile laying game where you're going to be helping lay out some tiles, and then you're going to be trying to swim from the ocean to the shore, and all of these tiles are going to have different effects that you're going to try to resolve. And the goal there is to try to be the first player to 2 points. So let's check it out. You're going to see a variety of different ingredients. You're going to have tortillas, which would be small tortillas, big tortillas, things like that. So you'll have some proteins like chicken, and you'll have some vegetables, you'll have beans, things like that, guacamole. You'll also have a frying pan that you're going to be able to use to make some of these different types of Mexican meals. Now over here you're going to see what the different recipes are that you can make, and you can make over 10 of them. These are going to be the ingredients that you can make, and all you have to do is you just have to get the tortillas and then start building them one by one. So for example, you can get the chicken over here, which has that symbol, and then you can also get something like the salsa, that would have this symbol. So both of these would be combined together. And if you wanted to turn them in, you would just simply do something like that, stack it on top, and then set it off to the side. And they're going to be giving you a different amount of points if you're able to make them. Now, if you want to play the advanced version of the game, you're going to be receiving 3 of these components here. You'll be giving a jalapeno, you'll be given a hot sauce, and you'll also be given sour cream. And they're fairly easy to use. If you want to pick 3 chips to play 2, you'll pick the jalapeno. The hot sauce, this will allow you to move a top ingredient from any meal onto another. This is useful in case you can't complete a recipe. And then you have the sour cream, which will act as a wild. So for example, if I wanted to make a salad, I could do something like that, put that on there, and that would go ahead and fulfill the recipe. Now in the beginning, you're going to go ahead and pick 2 of these chips, and this is picking the ingredients. So let's just say I pick these 2 chips over here. Now I've got a couple of options. Let's say I wanted to keep the small tortilla, and I can go ahead and play it. Then I would go ahead and put this back. Another option I could do is I could go ahead and play one of these. Let's say I played the small tortilla, and then I can go ahead and keep this in my hand. So on my next turn, I'm only going to draw one of these, and then I'll have the choice again as to play one and either discard it or keep it. Say I play the small tortilla. On my next turn, let's just say I draw these 2 over here, and I'm looking to see if I can build something, and this will actually help me build anything that's in the yellow area. So let's just say I'm going to go ahead and place this over here. I'm going to go ahead and put this back too, and this is essentially what you're going to be doing. So on another turn, I want to go ahead and play the this token here and make this wild, and let's say I want to go ahead and just create the taquito over here. So this is going to be worth 6 points, so I'll go ahead and put this off to the side, and then we'll just continue playing. And so once all the chips are gone, you're simply going to go ahead and just score all of the different recipes that you made, and whoever has the highest total will win the game. So in Chimichangas and Tacos, so anybody who enjoys Mexican food, you're going to like this game, I believe. It has pretty much all the little dishes on there that you would see in a typical Mexican restaurant. As before, this is a very simple game. It is a very light game. There's not a lot of strategy to this game. It's a lot based on luck because you're going to be drawing these tiles. You're not going to know what's on them until you look at them. And then you're going to, of course, have the choice to keep one, keep, and then play. And then you're going to be trying to build these dishes. Now, for me, the thing I noticed is I was always trying to get those big 10-point, 12-point dishes, but typically you have to get the pan. So really the question is if you get the pan, that's a great time to try to get those big dishes, but those big dishes can only happen whenever you get the pan. If you're not able to get the pan, you're not going to be able to do those dishes. So in that case, you have to try to do the best you can with what you have, and really could depend on, because these tiles go fast too. So if you end up building a lot of smaller dishes, you might be able to overcome the power of the pan, as I call it. And there's a few pans in there, so you would have a good chance of getting it. But ultimately what you're going to be doing, you're just going to be trying to build some dishes, get some points, set it aside, and then you also have those tokens you can use to kind of alter through your tacos and try to help you out there too. Another simple game, another light game. It's a little enjoyable game. I think anybody who likes really light games that are easy to play will enjoy this one too. So So in this game, you're going to have 9 planets, and you're going to have a spaceship. And the object of the game is you're going to be trying to get all the way from here to the last planet first. Now in the game, everybody is going to receive a spaceship and then the card that goes along with the spaceship. In this case, mine is going to be Chip, and each person is going to be receiving one of these crystals that'll go on the card. Now you're also going to have a number of dice in the game, and the way you're going to be getting to these different planets is you're going to be trying to roll the combination of icons that is on this particular planet. So for this one, I will need to roll a red, a blue, and a yellow. I'm going to look at this, and this says, okay, I'm going to need at least 3 dice, and according to the instructions, I will have 1 extra that I will be able to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll these dice like Yahtzee, and you're going to go ahead and try to see if you can get the different combinations. And you can go ahead and hold as many dice as you want, and you'll get up to 3 rolls to try to complete the combination. So in this case, I could save those. I didn't get it that time. I didn't get it that time. But let's just say on my 3rd roll, I ended up getting the green, so now I have completed this prerequisite, so now I'll be able to go ahead and place my rocket on there. Now, on each subsequent turn that I'm able to get to the next planet, let's say I get over here, I'm going to go ahead and put a crystal on there, and the next ship that is able to reach this planet will go ahead and pick up the crystal. So speaking of the crystals, you're going to each get a character card. The first thing you're going to see over here is these 2 dice combinations. If you are able to roll, in my case, 2 red on my first roll, if I have 2 dice, or 3 blue if I have 3 or more dice, I will be able to go ahead and collect a crystal off my first turn. The crystals will allow me to activate these different abilities over here. For me, if I end up spending a crystal, if I'm not able to get what I would need, I can just spend it and then go again. This one says I can auto hold a rocket and any 2 other icons for the turn. So essentially what that means is I could go ahead and just pick whatever icons I wanted for the planet and then continue on with the other dice. Some of these planets are going to have the icons in their orbit. They're separated. In this case, you're going to go ahead and look where the rocket is that has the solid color, and then you're going to try to roll, in this case, 2 blue first. And so I got 1 and then I got 2. Now if I'm able to get that, then I will be able to fly over to this part and then try to get the 2 red, and so on. So if I were able to get the 2 red, once again, I would be able to go ahead and fly on over, place the crystal over here. Now this game also has asteroid cards, and the way these are going to work is if you decide to use them, you're simply going to flip it over and you're going to look at these icons. If all the icons that are on the card match any of the icons on the next planet's orbit, which would be like this, for example, I would be able to go ahead and apply the effects of it to this. So in this case, if I had a blue and a yellow, I've got a blue and a yellow here, this will go ahead and count for that. If it doesn't, then I won't be able to use the card. So anyway, each of the cards are going to have different abilities. I'll just show you here. This one will allow you to have 2 extra rolls. This will also allow you to skip a planet and leave a crystal, which just basically means you'll land on the planet you're trying to go for. Zygi over here has this, and Nova over here has this. And so essentially the way it's going to work is you're just going to be trying to roll these different combinations, using the crystals to try to progress your ship, drawing these cards if you decide to use them, and just simply trying to roll your way and play crystals and collect crystals all the way to the last planet. And the person who's able to get to the last planet first is going to win the game. So as I said before, Slingshot has this Yahtzee mechanic that goes on with it, where you'll be rolling dice, and you can be putting them aside, and you're going to be trying to get the combination that is on the planet so you can move forward. Now, one thing I like is the way that in some of these planets, they split up the different symbols. So you have to end up rolling and getting 1 set, then you have to do it again and try to get another set in order to do that. And then of course you also have the crystals you can collect to try to use these effects to try to get further along. It's a cool little way of using the Yahtzee type of mechanic. Very simple game. Doesn't have a lot of strategy. It has just a couple of things that you can do to try to change up the way the game plays to try to help you along or to hurt your opponent. But it's a cute little game. I like it. So in the game, you're going to have a whole bunch of these different tiles over here, and depending on how many players you have, you're going to go ahead and deal out a certain amount of tiles. So for this, I'm going to be doing a 2-player version, so I'm going to deal out 8 of these tiles to each player, and they're going to have a number 1 or a number 2 on them. Now for the 2-player version of the game, you're going to take the tiles labeled with a 3, and you're going to go ahead and set a line over here. And what you're going to do is each player is going to go ahead and choose a couple of tiles they want to keep, and they're going to go ahead and lay the rest out until we have a 3x5 grid. So for example, player 1 might pick this one and he'll put it over here. Player 2 could go ahead and pick this one and place it over here somewhere. And you're just gonna go ahead and just continue to swap out until you have a 3x5 grid. So now we've gone ahead and built the grid, and you're gonna have a beach ball here, and you're gonna place the beach ball in one of these 3 rows over here near the bottom. Alternatively, if you want, you can go ahead and give each player one of these cards. These cards are going to be revealed at the end of the game, and you're simply going to apply the effect at the end. This one, for example, says -1 to another player for burning their feet. Now, each player is going to have some tiles that they'll be able to play with in this game. You're going to pick a lane to start swimming in, and you're going to try to get to the end and try to score points and avoid losing points. Now, all of the tiles are going to have different effects, and here is a list of the different effects that the tiles can have on them, and you'll just simply resolve them if you turn them over or if you play them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick this tile and flip it over, and I'm going to go ahead and resolve it. This one says open water. Now this particular tile has 2 symbols on it. If the tile does not have this symbol on it right here, I could actually choose not to resolve it and just swap it out with another tile from my hand. Since this has this on there, I won't be able to do that. This symbol also says that this is only going to affect each swimmer 1 time. If I don't want to resolve it, I can go ahead and counter it with another tile. And let's just say I decide I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do for this tile is going to ask me to flip over a tile here from the storage area, so to speak, and resolve that. So I flip this over, and now we have a right wave. So since I've drawn this, I'm going to go ahead and resolve it. I'm going to swim over here, and I'm going to go ahead and reveal this. And now I have revealed the glove. The glove says to pull a random tile from any player's hand. So I can go ahead and do that. Now my opponent can also play a tile if he wishes to counter it. So let's just say he decides he wants to play a blue bottle. So the blue bottle will go over here, and the blue bottle says miss next turn and lose the beach ball token. So he's gone ahead and counter that, and so now is going to be the green player's turn. So let's just put the green player over here. He'll pull this out, and it says left wave. So again, if he wants to, he can go ahead and play a tile, but he doesn't have anything. So let's just say he decides he's going to stop, and now it's going to go back to blue. Blue goes over here, and he'll flip this over, and he has got a double wave. So the double wave is going to allow me to move 1 tile to the left or the right. So let's just say I move over here, I'll flip this over, and this is pretty much the way the game is going to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the rip. So let's just say I don't really want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and play something else. Let's just say I decide I'm going to go ahead and play the flippers over here. And what the flippers is going to do, flippers say stop a player moving 1 tile for the turn. So I can go ahead and stop him, and so he'll lose his turn, and then I can go ahead and continue. And this is pretty much the way the game is going to work. Now, one thing you can do is if you want to move diagonally, you can go ahead and spend a tile to do so. Otherwise, you're just going to be moving forward and back. But anyway, what you're going to be doing is you're going to just simply be swimming through this ocean and resolving these different effects, just trying to get over here to the end and score the points. Now, there is this tile over here. This is the Irukhanji. And if anyone lands on this, this is going to cost them 1 point. Let's just say we have both players get over here to the end after swimming, and let's say green has the beach ball, so you go ahead and score. Say blue was first, he will go ahead and score for being first. Green will score for the beach ball, but let's just say green also happened to hit this one over here, and he's going to go ahead and lose a point. Then you'll go ahead and resolve these cards if you have them. So you'll tally up the points. If no one has gotten the 2 points, you'll go ahead and take the tiles, reshuffle them, and then do it all over again. Now, if nobody ends up having 2 points by the end, you're just going to go ahead and take the tiles, reshuffle them, and then reset it like you did in the beginning. But eventually, somebody's going to reach 2 points, and whoever reaches 2 points first is going to be the winner. So Irukhanji is an interesting game, mainly because you're going to have these tiles that you have to lay out onto the middle, and you'll have them, and you'll be able to know what the tiles are, but you also have to remember where the tiles are, specifically if you're planning on using those tiles that could either take away points like the Irukhanji or could have a negative effect. You might want to try to set it up in a way to where the other swimmer might end up hitting it. Otherwise, you have a choice to hold on to those tiles and then try to play on your opponent when you get a chance to. Like the beach ball tile, for example. That could help you get the beach ball and help you score a point. So this game reminds me a lot of an older game called Bonkers that we have from Parker Brothers. And in this game, you're basically going to be flipping over these things and following along while you're moving on a board. And that's a game I enjoy, just simply because of the way the game works. And this game kind of reminds me of that. There's just a lot of different movement rules that are going on. I think this is an enjoyable game too. It's unique enough and it's simple enough. All three of these games are meant to be played in a short amount of time. These would be filler games, but all three of these games were enjoyable for what they were. And anybody that likes simple games, easy to learn games that wouldn't really take that long to play, that you can just bring with you anywhere, check them out. I like them. All right, guys, that is my review of Irukhanji, of Slingshot, and of Chimichangas and Tacos. And we will talk to you later. Y'all have a great day. Keep on gaming. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and like.
And comment. And
click and
share.
Share.
And have fun. Have a lot of fun. That's what you gotta do.